Very often I find that when I speak to parents, families, and community leaders, I find that the conversation seems to center on our work. It centers on our successes and what they have hoped that we could do to help their family. But that's not really what Areivim is about. Areivim is about entering the life of a family that seems to be broken and shattered. It is a family that until now was considered a success, either in the community or within their personal home. And all of a sudden, without any expectation, something happens that destroys what would existed until then. It could be that a girl has an eating disorder, or it could be simply a fine yeshiva bacher that chose not to follow the life of their family. The parents don't know what to do. It is not just a story that gets written in a book. It's a true life incident. It's an experience that parents wish they never would have to go through, and they don't know where to turn. It is at these times that Areivim comes in and we offer hope, and then what we do is more than that. We actually help them succeed.
Areivim does not believe that a child lives in a vacuum. They believe that all Klal Yisrael is responsible for every child, and they put their money where their mouth is, because every part of that person's family, extended family, schools, community will be dealt with if that's what's necessary. That's a really special part of Areivim.
The sheer numbers of calls that Areivim are receiving is increasing. It's twofold. The first reason is that parents are more in tune to the issues, and therefore we are getting more teenagers and young children prior to their teenage years before the problem exists. In the other direction, though, we are receiving calls of such seriousness that demand a huge amount of time. I'm receiving calls of girls that are anorexic, that are at the point that their life is endangered. We are receiving calls from teenagers who have overdosed and they can't call the parents, and we're responsible to go to the hospital and wait with them. And we are undertaking cases, and in some cases entire families, where the amount of time needed just to put them straight again is overwhelming.
This is an organization which is based more on the mentor concept, where the kids are invited into the homes of the people that are working there, particularly Ace and Moshe, Rabbi Glock, and they are invited into the homes for Shabbos meals. The wives are involved, talking to the girls, and they are involved with making a home for people who don't feel like they have a home. And it's really like a therapeutic bungalow colony out in Muncie that really gives people a place where they feel that they're special and somebody cares about them.
Their hearts are totally given over to their job, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. They're there for the community. They're there for everybody. Shmuel and his staff are just totally devoted to the Mesiras Nefesh and Avodas HaKodesh in bringing the Fashais and the Shamas closer to the Rabbeinu Shalom, and Rabbeinu Shalom should give them all koyach together.
Areivim is important because they are there and they are more goal-oriented. When you have an emergency and it has to be dealt with now, they will deal with it now, and they will do it in a manner that befits Klal Yisrael. They identify and understand the tznius aspect of keeping the issue quiet, of not making a big show, and dealing with it without hurting anybody and without highlighting it. It's done very, very quietly. They just do it the right way.
Rabbi Klatsko and Rabbi Frankel, together with Areivim, have really unlocked this secret of bringing out the positive aspects, seeing the positive aspects of these boys, and helping them sing it, being a mirror with that positive approach to them. And that is really one of the things that every boy who comes up and moves and makes progress, that is what it has to do with, because of his ability to now see the positive aspects in himself.
It's your child, it's your nephew, it's your niece, your friend's child. It is our responsibility to reach out and help these people. To help them because they're Achenu B'nai Yisrael. And from a selfish point of view, to help them because we have our own children. And if all is well with our own children, who knows what's going to be with our grandchildren. We have to put in our part. We have to show Hashem We are doing our shtadlus. We're doing what we can. The rest is in your hands.
They really differ from the norm. They don't try to shove anything down your throat. The most important thing, in my opinion, and I haven't really discussed with any of the rabbis, but from what I got from being in the program, is that they're mainly geared towards building relationships with the guys and the girls that come into their programs. The most important thing, you can't get anyone to change any negative behavior if you don't forge a real, honest, and sincere relationship with them, which is what Areivim does. They don't try to lie to you, they don't deceive you. They're there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that they want what's best for you, not what's best for them. And it's really sincere.
One of the satisfying parts of working with Areivim for the last several years is we find from our original students and our original friends, they've gotten married. Many of them have children already. And what's nice to see is that, by and large, the vast majority of them are happily married, they are going to shiurim, they're good parents, sometimes better parents than their own parents were. And we have found that we haven't just applied a band-aid to them or just handheld them to get them out of the way. Instead, we've instilled values and we've turned them into very good people, people that not only they could be proud of, that their parents could be proud of, but even the community itself can be very proud of.
I first got involved with Areivim when I was 16 years old. I was having a lot of trouble. I was out of yeshiva, couldn't find anywhere to go, and they really helped me, not so much in finding, well, obviously in finding Judaism, but more so in just finding myself as a person. They definitely helped me mature, helped me discover who I was as a person, and that relationship that I developed with Rabbi Gluck and with some of the other members of Areivim really has persisted until this day. My life definitely changed. I mean, if you would have told me when I first got involved with Areivim at the age of 16 that at the age of 22 I would have a good job, married, and kind of settled down, I wouldn't have believed you at all, but that's the case.
Alright, I'm a stepper, right? That's also saying that how they have to come down, but if you can...
Take out the cake from this muscle line.
There we go. Beautiful. You like that? Well, that's you, I'm coming to you, baby. Here we go, we're dropping out. Get up and down a little.
This is the coolest camp ever. Yes, I broke 102.
Get that spare.
Everything bends but the feet. Don't do that.
Now what do I do?
Here we go.
Okay.
Forward, back, forward, grab your knees.
Ace and Moshe have the power to just make a trip. And we got to Meron, and I remember we got there, and Ace turns to me and he's like, now the work is starting. Now is where the journey starts. And we got there, and we start off at the bottom of the hill at Meron, and we start walking up. And all along the way, Ace, Moshe, and the whole crew that we had with us, just going over to random people, people who looked like they needed some attention, people who had probably been hanging out for months without anybody paying them any attention or minding their business at all. Ace and Moshe going over to them. What's your name? Where are you from? What yeshiva are you in? What are you doing with your life? Here's my phone number. Call me. Taking a picture with them. Making them feel good. And believe it or not, after we finished talking to each individual person, they followed us.
And by the time we got to the top of the hill, we had a whole following of about 100 or so people, all standing there with us. And we danced, and we talked, and we spent the whole night in Meron, just reaching out to people, talking to people, making something of Lag BaOmer in Meron. For Ace and Moshe, there's always a follow-up. Hey, how's it going? What are you doing now? Where are you now? Stop by whenever you want. My house is open.
Well, Areivim did a lot to help me, and it gave me a place to be in the summer. And every time anything came up in yeshiva, I would always call Ace or Moshe or Hudi or Rabbi Gluck or somebody, and they always helped me and they did a lot. So thanks, Areivim.
Areivim's the best thing in the world, and if not for Areivim, I don't even want to say what it's going to be.
Areivim means more to the community than a slice of pizza and a phone call.
Areivim is a lifeline.
For the many from families that would be lost without it.
Areivim is that intangible bond
that is holding our community together today.
And is helping our community grow tomorrow.